Hello everyone, this is News Distillate, your go-to place for the latest news updates, where we provide you with the most important news without taking up too much of your time. So, without further ado, let's get started. It's a sad day for Ukraine and the United States as they bury a brave son from America. Christopher James Campbell was a soldier in the US Army who served in Iraq and then decided to move to Ukraine in the spring of 2022. He felt he had a unique ability to help the people of Ukraine and he was determined to do so. Campbell was killed defending the city of Bakhmut in April of this year. Ukraine is in the midst of a full-scale war with Russia, and they need the help of foreign volunteers to keep their troops up to speed on NATO standards. Campbell was one of those volunteers, and he was highly respected for his knowledge and expertise. At his funeral, his fiancée Eva Sanina said that he was well on his way to becoming fluent in Ukrainian and wanted to ask her parents for their blessing in their native language. Sanina also said that Campbell was brave like a Ukrainian and stubborn like a Ukrainian, and that he had become a Ukrainian himself. Campbell's mother, Sherry, said that her concerns for her son were overshadowed by the knowledge that he was fulfilled in his mission. She said that after the war, he had dreams of buying a farm in the mountains and being with the love of his life. Father George Kovalenko, a rector of the Open Orthodox University of St. Sophia, said during Campbell's eulogy that God does not divide humanity based on their skin color, nationality, or faith, and that we must honor the heroism of those who defend life, liberty, and love. Sanina said that foreign fighters like Campbell are brave sons of Ukraine who are preventing genocide. Christopher James Campbell was laid to rest in a Kiev cemetery as per his wishes. He was a brave man who gave his life to help the people of Ukraine. He will be remembered and honored for his courage and dedication. It's been a roller coaster of a month for the job market, but it looks like it's finally starting to pick up. Despite the recent banking system stress and rising interest rates, April saw a surprisingly strong growth in the job market. The unemployment rate dropped to 3.4%, and for African Americans, it dropped to a record low of 4.7%. But unfortunately, the job gains from February and March were revised down by a total of 149,000 jobs. The service industry, which includes travel, entertainment and dining out, has been doing particularly well. Airlines, hotels, restaurants, business services and healthcare all added jobs in April. Construction and manufacturing, which are more sensitive to interest rates, also added jobs. However, the outlook for the job market is still uncertain. Small businesses may not be able to borrow money, which could lead to a pullback in hiring. The number of people quitting their jobs has also decreased, which could mean that workers are less confident about finding and keeping a new job. On the bright side, the Federal Reserve has noticed that the job market is starting to balance out, with more people joining or rejoining the workforce. Wages have also increased by 4.4% since last year, although this figure may be lower than the actual wage gains due to the recent job growth in lower wage industries. So despite the recent turbulence, it looks like the job market is starting to turn around. It's a great sign for the economy and for people looking for work. It's also a reminder that even when the going gets tough, there's always hope for a better tomorrow. It's no secret that the job market is looking up, but unfortunately, many families are still struggling with issues that are affecting their children's mental health. This week, the US Surgeon General, Dr. Vivek Murthy, released an advisory that loneliness is a public health challenge that needs to be addressed. But it's not just loneliness that kids are struggling with. From social isolation to poor grades, there are a lot of issues that are impacting their mental health. To get a better understanding of what's going on with kids, NPR's Sarah McCammon spoke to Lisa D'Amour, a psychologist and author of the book The Emotional Lives of Teenagers, Raising Connected, Capable and Compassionate Adolescents. She believes that the key to helping kids is to build strong connections with them. This means having meaningful conversations with them, listening to their concerns, and being there for them when they need it. D'Amour also suggests that parents should be aware of the signs of mental health issues in their children. These can include changes in behavior, such as becoming more withdrawn or irritable, or changes in their sleep patterns. If parents notice any of these signs, they should seek help from a mental health professional. It's also important for parents to create a safe and supportive environment for their children. This means setting clear boundaries and expectations and providing them with the tools they need to succeed. It also means encouraging them to take part in activities that they enjoy, such as sports, music, or art. Finally, parents should make sure that their children are getting enough sleep, eating healthy meals, and exercising regularly. These are all important steps that can help kids stay healthy and happy. It's clear that kids are facing a lot of challenges when it comes to their mental health, but with the right support and guidance, they can be helped. Parents should take the time to build strong connections with their children, be aware of the signs of mental health issues, create a safe and supportive environment, and ensure that their children are getting enough sleep, eating healthy meals, and exercising regularly. With these steps, kids can get the help they need and lead happy and healthy lives. Today, we say goodbye to Dr. Rochelle Walensky, the director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. After leading the CDC through the pandemic, she is resigning her post on June 30th. President Biden praised Dr. Walensky for her leadership, saying that she has saved American lives and is known for her honesty and integrity. Her departure came as a surprise to many CDC staffers, who had no idea this news was coming. During her tenure, Dr. Walensky administered 670 million COVID-19 vaccines, which has saved and improved lives and protected the country and the world from the greatest infectious disease threat in over 100 years. Dr. Walensky was a charismatic and strong leader, and her departure marks a tremendous transition for our country. She was an incredible asset to the CDC, and her leadership was instrumental in helping families stay safe and healthy. As we bid farewell to Dr. Walensky, let us remember the importance of strong family bonds and healthy habits. We can all take a page from her book and strive to make a difference in our communities. President Biden has yet to name a replacement for Dr. Walensky, but we can be sure that the CDC will continue to be a leader in the fight against COVID-19. So let's take a moment to thank Dr. Walensky for her hard work and dedication. She has been a beacon of hope during a difficult time, and we are forever grateful for her leadership. It's been a long year of pandemic, but the CDC is finally shifting its focus to tracking deaths, hospitalizations, and test positivity. And it's all thanks to the leadership of Dr. Walensky. With her help, the CDC was able to administer 670 million COVID-19 vaccines, helping to keep families safe. In the latest sign that the pandemic is winding down, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced that it will no longer be regularly tracking and releasing the number of new COVID infections. This is because states will no longer be required to report new cases, and home testing, which mostly isn't reported to authorities, has made new infections a less reliable metric. The CDC will still be monitoring and reporting how many people are dying from COVID, as well as how often people are getting so sick they end up requiring care in emergency rooms. Wastewater monitoring for the virus, as well as the percentage of people testing positive for the virus, test positivity, will provide additional crucial metrics. Independent public health experts weren't surprised by the changes, but some voiced concern that investments in public health were being rolled back. For example, state and local health departments are no longer required to report certain COVID data to the federal government. Experts are also worried that the changes will result in patchwork surveillance measures, making it harder to track hospitalizations, which is the best indicator of whether the level of infections that are occurring will be disruptive. Finally, despite the gains we've made, deaths are still way too high, hovering around 1,100 a week. The CDC should be redirecting efforts to understanding in as real time as possible what's driving variability across states and regions in mortality, rather than scaling back its data efforts. It's been a long and difficult year, but with the help of Dr. Walensky and the CDC, we've made it this far. Let's keep up the good work and stay safe.